Hello, everyone, and welcome to Culture of Gaming's Power Up Podcast, episode 129, being recorded live on August 15th, 2020. I'm your host, Taylor.
I'm Anthony.
And I'm Michael.
And we, of course, have a wonderful show lined up for you all this week. But starting off every week, as we like to do on the show, I'd like to go through kind of what we've been playing, all the video and whatnot, as we are a video game website. So, anyway, Mike, let's start off with you, our esteemed guest. What have you been playing this past week?
Yes, very happy to be back on the show. So, and whenever I get the chance.
Can you tell that there's going to be Microsoft hate today? Because Mike's almost always on whenever there's Microsoft hate.
Yeah, it's either Anthem, Fallout, or something with Microsoft. Always one to three, but what the hey. It's always fun to be able to catch on to a pattern because that means that's when I actually get to come on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, to go ahead to mention the games I've been playing. Not too much. I'm still going through Ghost of Tsushima, still enjoying the hell out of the game. Still playing Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Currently enjoying the new addition to the cast, the Frostfang Barrier. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And then I did also go ahead to finally check out the beta for Avengers.
Okay.
And I'm going to have some thoughts on it. I'm going to be, and believe it or not, I'm actually going to be working on a short little video of impressions of the beta. So hopefully, like, maybe sometime next week or the week after. But, you know, hopefully sooner the better. But initial impressions have been kind of good. But it's like, you know, after a few hours of playing, it's like, okay, I know what I'm going to get myself into in September. So no reason to play anymore.
Okay. All right. Anything else, or has that just pretty much been it?
Yeah, no, that's been it for me. It's been a kind of a quiet week for me.
Okay.
For the most part.
Anthony, what have you been up to this past week? You are muted in Discord, sir. There you go.
I know, I am. Me personally, I've been playing some Red Dead as of yesterday, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
Picked that up because I got a beta key for Avengers as well for PC. But that didn't work out too well. Game kept crashing.
F.
Basically couldn't play it at all. And I was, you know, tried launching it multiple times, tried doing this, tried doing that, tried it on different settings, nothing would work. So kind of gave up on it. Ended up buying Red Dead 2 for PS4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that took like 8 hours to install.
Yeah.
It's like 108 gig. Had to... oh, dear. Had to depart with Death Stranding. So near and dear to my heart, that game. Not really at all. That's crazy. So had to get rid of that, like uninstall a couple of things.
Damn.
Yeah, installed Red Dead and been playing some of that. Also played some Apex, of course, this week. Just usual stuff. Tried to get some wins, didn't really go too well. What else? There's something else that I've been playing, but I can't even remember what it is. I believe I've been playing some Old Republic, which is like the Star Wars MMO game.
Okay. Wait, that game's still alive?
Yeah, it's still going strong.
I thought the servers went down a while ago. Okay.
No, they only just released their latest update for it.
Oh, wow, okay.
Like a new, like, story side of things and stuff. Basically, there's different classes that you can do.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've been playing some of that as well. I've put 14.9 hours into it so far.
Okay.
So it's going strong. It's grindy, of course, like most MMOs are. But it's a decent MMO. And it's free to play. So
oh, nice. Okay.
Fully free to play. You can choose to upgrade if you want, and it's like, I think it's like $5 a month, I believe, maybe.
And it just barely got onto Steam just a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, correct. So
okay, yeah, no, I just looked it up right now, and yeah, apparently it just barely got onto Steam like about 3 weeks ago. So
it's still strong. Like when you drop into any world or whatever, it just like stays. Like there's always people around. There's a lot of people around. So yeah, basically the paid tier, all that does is allows you to level up faster. Really, that's all. It kind of does. Movement speeds a little bit quicker and a couple of other things. So
okay,
it's not so much like pay to win or anything.
Just a couple little nice bonuses for being a sub.
Exactly. Like you can get like a speeder thing, so that you can move a lot like 50% faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of running in that game and like fast travel and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's about it for me for this week. What about you, Taylor?
This week has been super busy for me, with just stuff in general. I was finishing up a couple of classes this week, so I had 2 finals this past week. I made it through those just fine, so no issue, and I have like some time off before fall classes start up again and whatnot. So I was busy with that, although this past week I did have some time to play some League with some buddies, and that was very rage-inducing. That was very, very rage-inducing, and 0 out of 10 would not do it again. And then a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima, but only like an hour of it since we taught last week. I still really need to just sit down one day and just like straight marathon it or something, straight play it. So yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much been it. I know, boring.
Nice. Sounds like my way.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about Avengers Beta at all? Like how it's how?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I think that I'm the only one who went ahead and put time into it. So as far as I
okay.
see, there's no reason to mention it.
Okay.
There's the other game we could talk about, but that event's not going to be till next week. So I'll leave that up to you if you want to talk about it or not.
What game?
The DC's Avengers, aka Suicide Squad.
I
yeah.
didn't even know that was gonna be a game. Okay. Yeah, no.
Oh no,
We're not. Okay,
Suicide...
nope. We're not.
Yeah.
I'm done with
fair
superheroes. Okay.
Fair enough. I've been trying to step away from superheroes myself, but apparently that's the only thing happening in the news besides what we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So speaking of the news, before we like to do the news segment, we always like to do a little housekeeping stuff, plug all our stuff. So the main site is, of course, culturegaming.com. There you can find the latest gaming news, reviews, opinion pieces, interviews, etc., etc. On the right-hand side sidebar of that website, which is, of course, culturegaming.com, you'll find a link to the community Discord, where you can chat with everyone you see on the podcast, as well as pretty much all of the COG staff. So if you want to hit them up about some of the articles they've written, maybe something they said on the podcast, or just general talk about gaming, because everybody that works for COG really likes gaming, then yeah, we're always happy to talk about games or memes or whatever, anime. We have a bunch of different channels of Discord, all sorts of different conversations take place there. So check us out on over there. And then Facebook, we have 2 Facebook pages, one for the main site and one for the podcast here. They are facebook.com/thecod network and facebook.com/poweruppodcast, respectively. And then on Twitter, @thecod network, Instagram, @cultureofgaming, twitch.tv/cultureofgaming, where you can find the podcast being recorded live every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and youtube.com/cultureofgaming, where you can find a video repository of all the previously recorded podcasts, although they are a couple weeks behind, which is fine. But if you want the most up-to-the-date repository of podcasts, then head on over to anywhere you can find audio podcasts, albeit Spotify, Pocket Bean, Podcast Addict, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. You can find all the audio recordings on there. And go through what is now 128 weeks of gaming news history and discussion. So,
yeah,
really
totally
stacking up the... Huh? What's up? Oh. You cut out again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally thrilling.
Yes, absolutely enthralling content. Okay, I assure you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so moving right along, jumping right into the news. First story. Halo Infinite has been delayed to 2021. Yikes. Okay. But according to this article from The Verge, the Xbox Series X is still launching in November. So I'm going to read a little bit from the article here. Microsoft and 343 Industries are making the decision to delay the launch of Halo Infinite to 2021. 343 Industries says the delay is related to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, as employees have shifted to work from home and development of large games has been particularly difficult for many in the industry. Saying Chris Lee, I think he's like the game director or something like that, said, quote, "We have made the difficult decision to shift our release to 2021 to ensure the team has adequate time to deliver a Halo game experience that meets our vision. The decision to shift our release is the result of multiple factors that have contributed to development challenges, including the ongoing COVID-related impacts affecting us all this year. I want to acknowledge the hard work from our team at 343 Industries, who've remained committed to making a great game and finding solutions to development challenges. However, it is not sustainable for the well-being of our team or the overall success of the game to ship it this holiday. It's a decision that Microsoft's Xbox chief Phil Spencer did warn may happen earlier this year, and Bungie, okay, that's tangentially related. Still, Microsoft did push ahead and demo Halo Infinite during. Yeah, okay, we talked about that. Also, all right, that's pretty much it. So, Halo Infinite delayed 2021. There's absolutely no reason this has to do with the graphics backlash, does it?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I mean, it could be a
does.
contributing factor, maybe, just slightly.
Yeah. So, okay, Anthony, let's start off with you. Do you think this was a good move, bad move?
So, okay, so Microsoft's come out and said a couple of times in a couple of different articles and a couple of different interviews and such that basically the Series X is not going to have exclusives for a good 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Right after release. So
whatever it
basically,
might
there's
be.
not going to be launch exclusives, right? I think Phil Spencer even said that himself. So
Okay.
we talked about this a couple of weeks on the podcast as well, just about how that'll impact them and whatnot. A lot of people are saying that this is primarily the reason why they pushed Halo Infinite back, is primarily because of the graphics backlash, because it looks like a pre-alpha demo, basically.
Yeah, it would have had to do a lot in like 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Obviously, Corona is not helping, with people working from home and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But so initially, when there was backlash, right?
Yeah.
343 came out. The head of 343, whatever his name is, came out and basically said, "Hey, watch the trailer in 4K."
Yeah. They were like, no, it's just a stream issue. You know, if you watch the trailer at native resolution and whatnot in a better bit rate, it looks just fine. And it's just well, obviously not.
And then it's 2 weeks later, he's like, "Oh, yeah, we've got to push it back." So I feel like it's kind of 343 doing a bit of a dirty kind of thing. They're trying to kind of quell the fires of fans and such.
Okay.
By saying, okay, look, the trailer's crap quality because of how it was streamed, but at the same time, it's not our issue, it's not our fault, get over it.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, they're like, hey, it's our fault.
Right, yeah.
Which is a bad way of handling it. It's a very bad way of handling it. So, I don't know, 343 is a very unique company. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them with Halo, because they've messed it up completely.
Yeah.
Halo 5 was an absolute pile of garbage. Halo 4 was pretty close behind. I'm not lying. Ask anybody about Halo 5.
No, I didn't like 4 too much either, and I never played 5. I just heard 5 was crap.
Yeah, 5 was pretty crap.
Okay.
So I don't trust 343 with this. And delays are, a lot of people on the internet, same with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's been pushed back 2 times now. But the difference is, we trust CD because they've done Witcher, they've done, good games previously. But 343, to me, is in a different ballpark because of how they've behaved previously with the series.
Okay.
So I don't think Halo Infinite's going to go anywhere or be any good at this rate. It's free to play. It's the whole model surrounding it, I'm not happy with at all.
It's like Halo as a service model or whatever.
It's basically Fortnite.
Yeah.
Come on now. When do we get dances and skins for Master Chief?
Right. Yeah.
That's the question we should be asking.
Who needs dances when you have teabagging, apparently?
Yeah. All right, Mike. So, how do I get the teabag emote in Fortnite?
Well, all you do is that there's a action you could take where you could go ahead and crouch down to kind of have a better aim, but instead of holding it down, you just keep pressing it, and then all of a sudden, there you go.
Okay.
It's magic. But no, anyway, for this whole situation with Halo Infinite, it has left me kind of trying to figure out what the hell's going on myself, because, I do go ahead and defend Microsoft from time to time, or at least more so than other people. And I'm not doing it just because console wars or nothing like that, but it's just trying to figure out the strategy of what's going on. And, we could go to say, oh, a delayed game is good eventually, but a bad game release is bad forever or whatever. Yeah, that may be the case, but, a lot of people have also said that technically, Halo Infinite was supposed to be the reason why you're supposed to be buying the Series X.
Right, it was to be this killer launch thing for the Series X.
Yeah,
basically.
And now that it's not going to go ahead and make it, that now people are struggling to try to say, what are you supposed to be playing? Are you going to be playing Scorn on the Series X? Are you going to be playing the Medium on the Series X? Are you going to be playing a third game that's slipping my mind? But apparently there's only 3 games that are going to be the supposed console seller.
Godfall? That's what's...
No, that's
PS5.
PlayStation 5. And
okay.
honestly, I'm going to be getting Godfall on the PC myself.
Okay, I didn't know it was coming to PC.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Yeah, so Sony's
console
doing the same as what
exclusive,
Microsoft's doing now. I think like most of their, well, not most of them, but some of their exclusives are coming to PC, like what Xbox does. Sorry,
Yeah.
keep going.
Oh no, no problem at all. But the thing that I'm trying to figure out for Halo is that apparently with what everything's being shaped up, part of me is kind of wondering that if the thing about how the multiplayer is going to be free for all players or free for everyone who has the Game Pass, that it kind of makes me wonder if they're going to be trying to make an attempt. I'm not going to say it's a good attempt, but if they're going to make some attempt on having Halo multiplayer available at launch, which it's a possibility. But who knows if it would actually be good at launch, let alone if it'd be something that people would be interested in. Especially considering that, I'm not going to mention Fortnite, even though we're going to be talking about that in a moment. But it's more to the idea that, technically, I've never been a fan of Call of Duty, or rather, I should say, I've not been a fan of Call of Duty in recent times. But even I could go to see that Warzone has essentially done what should have been done with the first-person shooter genre, or at least try to go ahead and make it as engaging as possible.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that if Halo's going to be going into the free-to-play market against the Fortnite, against the Call of Duty, against Apex Legends and all the other free-to-plays, it kind of makes me wonder, is there really going to be that big of a selling point for people or not? Which I'm sure it could be, but then it's like, we have to kind of think on a more realistic standpoint.
I guess the problem that I arrive at is, like, you can get Halo multiplayer on any platform right now, right? Like, if you're a PC player...
Pick a game off the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, you got Reach 1, 2, 3 multiplayer, on PC.
Yeah, so we're kind of in that position where it's like, that's one thing Microsoft could consider, but outside of that, though, it's kind of hard to say where they're going to take this right now. And to go to fall back for what we were saying for the missed launch title, because I'm going to be perfectly honest, there have been some very nice games that were shown for both PlayStation 5 and Series X. I've not been sold on either.
Okay.
That, mind you, that if I do decide to upgrade eventually, it's going to be when I start to see games that I do want to either see in a higher resolution or otherwise games that I do want to go to play exclusively on next-gen systems. But right now, I have not been sold on either or, and especially in the case of the Series X, that's definitely been the case. And while it is nice that the Game Pass is going to allow you to be able to play the games that would be on the Series X, but still be able to play them on the Xbox One, win there. But outside of that, though, it's like I don't see a need to go ahead to upgrade at this immediate moment, to just save the money until I finally see a reason to go to upgrade. Yeah,
I will say that, like, I'm a bit more sold on the PS5, just like how it's been presented and everything, but at the same time also, it's not like a at-launch buy for me. Like, there are a couple more games that I'd like to see, like, come out for it eventually or whatever before putting one up, and however long it might take, whatever. Like, as soon as Bloodborne 2 gets announced for the PS5 or whatever, that's a buy, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's fair, because, honestly, Ratchet's the only one I would consider, buying immediately if I was given the option.
Yeah.
And, Miles Morales, that looks cool too, but it's like, it's your... whatever the Uncharted expansion is to the Uncharted series, that if you want to go ahead and play Uncharted, you have a previous game that you can still be able to enjoy right now and get your mileage off of.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, for Miles Morales, that, okay, I can't upgrade to a PlayStation 5. I'll just buy Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 and get my fill.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Horizon Forbidden West, another great game, but, there's a very good possibility to where that's not coming for like a good year or two still, so... that's definitely not launch. If it is, then, big surprise there. But pretty sure that if it was, they probably would have pushed that one up to, be like, major console launch, whatever. But I think that in some standpoint, Sony's probably played it smart by not announcing one game that's going to be at launch yet.
Okay.
We're only assuming that Spider-Man, Miles Morales, or any other games are going to be launching with the PlayStation 5, but they haven't exactly announced it directly, or at least not from what I've noticed.
Yeah, they haven't,
Okay.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So, if they have to delay a game, they don't have to say, well, we're delaying the game. We never announced it in the first place.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, Microsoft did kind of shoot themselves in the foot a little bit by saying Halo Infinite would be a launch title. I get more and more disappointed. I'm going to be honest, I get more and more disappointed with Halo Infinite every time I see it. if I'm perfectly honest. Like, you know, I was like, ooh, this looks really neat when they did the in-engine trailer a couple years ago. You know, the one that started off with, like, the deer running or whatever and whatnot. Yeah. And then, you know, it was just like...
That was like the Blinken engine trailer or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, it was just like, oh, this is the engine Halo Infinite to me, and that looks kind of cool, I guess, right? And also, oh my god, a new Halo game. And then it was just like, oh, like a year and a half later, we got... We got the Pelican thing or whatever, and Microsoft decided to blue ball the whole world by not showing gameplay. And when they finally did show gameplay, it kind of looked like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just really fast, I just wanted to say that, you know, quote unquote, Craig saved Halo Infinite.
Okay.
The brutes that everyone just loves to just meme
Monkey
to
Man.
That, yeah, essentially
Shrek.
that. I want to think that, you know, if he was not tossed around the internet as much as he was, you know, no one would care about Halo Infinite, and therefore they probably would have launched the game as was.
Right.
But I think that thanks to the backlash that was also with Craig just being put on everything and mediocrity, that maybe Craig very well just saved Halo Infinite. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was trying to bring up a similar point also. It was just like, you know, it's kind of hard to believe that, you know, they were going to, you know, all things considered, launch it kind of as it looked, or, you know, almost essentially as it looked back in, well, they showed it earlier in July, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
it was July 23rd.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, but then, you know, if there wasn't, as Mike, as you mentioned, you know, the massive backlash from pretty much everyone around the internet, not even Halo fans, that kind of said, okay,
well, I mean, it has to
fine.
be Halo fans, because, you know, you could have your trolls that just hate everything for the sake of hating everything.
Right.
But then it's like, if you have the dedicated fan base actually coming out and saying, guys, why does this look worse than an early Xbox 360 game or whatever?
Guys, why does this
like,
look worse than Halo 3?
Yeah.
Why does this look worse than Halo 1?
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, when you
like,
get to that point, then yeah, we got a problem.
I don't know, it's just... Microsoft just keeps letting the team down. Like, seriously, they just really do. Like... Yeah, I don't know, it's... Like, seriously, there's no reason to buy a Series X at this point.
At launch,
No,
at
and I
least,
agree
yeah.
with you that there's no reason to buy it at launch.
Yeah.
You may be able to buy it later, or if you are
Yeah.
someone who definitely wants it day one, you at least have the Game Pass to back you up. But outside of that, though, the majority of people who have Xbox Ones are probably looking at the Series X and saying, well, I mean, I could go ahead and wait a bit longer if I need to.
Okay,
Which,
yeah.
I mean, if that's the game plan for Microsoft, then, you know, good deal there, you win there. But otherwise, for console sales, it does really seem like Microsoft isn't really paying close attention to that at all. And probably know that it's going to get blown out of the water even before they made all these plans.
Yeah, you know, you can see all the damage control happening already for, like, lackluster sales of the Series X at launch, right? You know, by saying, oh, we're not going to have exclusives for, like, 2 years. We want to ease people into the transition and everything, stuff like that. Whereas opposed to, like, Sony, whose messaging has been the complete opposite, being like, yeah, we want people to pick up the PS5 as fast as possible.
Yeah, following the
here are all
traditional
these,
approach,
like, pretty decent-looking games if you're a Sony fan and everything, right? So, yeah, just get yourself a PS5 ASAP, okay? We want to see those launch sales. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because Microsoft's easing into it. It's obviously going to be that the launch sales aren't going to be all too strong.
Yeah.
And they've kind of now, you know, set the bar pretty low because of it now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the messaging is just fairly obvious to me on both sides there. Okay.
Yeah.
So outside of, you know, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is in fact ruined. Anything else about the Series X and the lack of Halo Infinite at launch?
Well, I mean, there's other things we're going to talk about for the Series X probably later on, but for right now, it's like, you know, it's a disappointment regardless of how you look at it. It's nice that it's going to get delayed so that it can get fixed on. But honestly, outside of that, though, you know, because this had to be taken into consideration, it's still unfortunate regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of current events or what have you. Because, yeah, all games this year seems to have been delayed. You know, it wasn't that long ago that Last of Us Part 2 had an indefinite delay until release 2 months later. So,
right, yeah.
Literally everyone's getting hit by this. But, yeah, Halo, unfortunately, is just the latest the latest game that got hit, essentially.
It just comes down to marketing. Like, at the end of the day, we've said this multiple times on the podcast as well. It comes down to marketing. Microsoft's not doing a good job at it. Like, with the way they're trying to sell their newest console, the way they're going about like Halo Infinite, like multi-messaging. Hey, it's your, you're not watching the trailer correctly. Here's a different trailer, kind of like with better quality. It's just, I don't know. It's just all over the ballpark.
I mean, I would imagine that people should be looking at his stream and be like, okay, well, I mean, I'm not looking at the best possible version of this.
Right.
Yeah.
And, they would need to go to the source. But then even then, it's like, most people would have done that.
It's like, I don't know, the source of the
it would have looked decent anyway.
The source of the graphical woes with Infinite was never like, oh, it was just like something that you can see regardless of like resolution or bit rate of the stream, and that's just the lighting.
Packet loss.
Yeah, it was like it was just like the lighting. Like it's one thing if things look pixelated or the textures don't look as high res as possible because
it looks like Minecraft.
It's like the stream is low res or the stream is low bit rate, but like
Halo Infinite 64.
The lighting kind of transcends bit rate and resolution. It's very obvious to tell when lighting and shadows are off.
Halo Infinite 64-bit.
Exactly.
Well, no, someone did an actual thing about that. That someone made Halo Infinite in the style of a Nintendo 64, like Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That looks amazing.
What's the difference?
That actually looks really fun on 64, like Nintendo 64. It looks great.
Okay.
It's like
it looks better than the original
in space.
It's more enjoyable.
All right. Well, I think we should move on before we do a cease and desist from Microsoft.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Call me Microsoft. I'd be happy to defend you because these guys will tell you that I defend you guys more than anyone else.
True. Yeah. All right. So, our next news story. Oh, what's up?
No. Oh no, I said Mike's sold out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mike's the shill.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that story is the largest thing to have happened in the industry for a little while now, and also, obviously, the largest thing to happen this next week. You might have heard about this, might not, but I have two articles here to really get the story a little bit. They're both from The Verge, and I want you to pay attention to the timestamps on each article, okay?
That's going to be fun.
The first article is Epic offers new direct payment in Fortnite on iOS and Android to get around App Store fees. Plus, V-Bucks get permanently discounted. This was written by Andrew Webster on August 13th, 2020 at 9:11 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. Today, Epic announced the Fortnite Mega Drop, a permanent discount on V-Bucks and other cash purchases in the game of up to 20%. The developer, Epic Games, is quick to point out that it's not a sale. These are new prices for the in-app currency in both the PC and console versions of the game. On mobile, however, things are a bit more complicated. On both iOS and Android, Epic has introduced a new direct payment option. If you purchase V-Bucks or anything else in the game through either the App Store or Google Play Store, it will cost the same as it always has been in the mobile version. But the new direct option comes with the discount. When you select it, the game sends you to a payment screen where you can choose either a credit card or PayPal. Currently, there are no savings if players use Apple and Google payment options, where Apple and Google collect an exorbitant 30% fee on all payments, Epic says. If Apple and Google lower their fees on payments, Epic will pass along the savings to players. It's not clear exactly how Epic is able to get around these fees, but here's some detail from the company's FAQ. So that's pretty much it, okay? Epic has updated Fortnite to use their own direct payment system to subvert the App Store and the Google Play Store payment options because Apple and Google will skim a bit off the top of in-app purchases and whatnot. Okay? And then, this next article, okay? Headline, also from The Verge. Apple just kicked Fortnite off the App Store. Apple says Epic is violating its App Store guidelines by using its own payment system. August 13th, 2:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So here we are, like 6 hours later, 5-6 hours later, okay? And Apple has kicked Fortnite off the App Store. Okay. Article reads, Apple has removed Epic Games' Battle Royale game Fortnite from the App Store after the developer on Thursday implemented its own in-app payment system that bypassed Apple's standard 30% fee. The decision marks a significant escalation in the feud between Epic and one of the world's most dominant mobile software marketplaces. It also comes at an especially fraught time for Apple as the iPhone maker navigates antitrust concerns over its operation of the App Store and the rules it imposes on certain developers. Following the removal, Epic revealed a carefully calculated series of responses, including an antitrust lawsuit seeking to establish Apple's App Store as a monopoly, and a protest video that aired on YouTube and within Fortnite itself, mocking the iPhone maker's iconic 1984 ad. So Apple in the year 1984 ran like a big advertisement during the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
For like when they're Mac computers. I think it was like the Mac 1 or 2 or whatever. And it was, yeah, anyway. And calling on gaming fans to hashtag free Fortnite by supporting its fight against Apple. Apple said in a statement to The Verge that it plans to work with Epic to resolve these violations, but that it has no intention to create a special arrangement for the company. I'm not going to read the company statement in full. That's business legalese. Epic implemented its own payment system in the Android version of Fortnite as well, leading Google to take similar action and remove the game from the Play Store. Android users, however, can still download Fortnite using Epic's own app launcher, which it distributes independently through any mobile web browser. So, yeah, right there you reach kind of a core difference between Apple, like Android and iOS. There is, like, on iOS, you can only get apps onto your iPhone from the App Store unless you're jailbroken, which do not condone because, you know, it breaks terms of service, stuff like that. Anyway, and, but on Android, there are many different app stores that you can tap into and load onto your device. You don't even need to go to an app store if you don't want to. You can literally download the raw app file and have it install from a website. So, anyway. And then this is kind of tangentially related. It looks like Epic may not be the only one with beef against Apple. Microsoft might have beef against Apple due to the xCloud gaming service after it came out that Apple will not approve Microsoft's xCloud gaming service.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fun.
Yeah. What? Where do we even start with this?
Do you want me to go to play the quick clip from Godzilla that says "Let them fight"?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I
because
think so.
No, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it's so I will ahead this a little bit. I think it's super obvious that like Epic was ready to do this, right? They were just trying to wait for the right time or whatever. They were kind of planning this for a little while.
Definitely.
Yeah, because you know it's like you don't make a parody commercial in the span of a couple hours, you know. So
yeah, no, essentially, they had to have had all this figured out. They knew that the moment they did this, they were going to piss Apple off. Mm-hmm. They were going to get their things taken down, and thus because of that, a lawsuit was going to be played out. And then it's like almost the cherry on top was just, you know, to do George Orwell's 1984 commercial, you know, essentially with Fortnite characters. And then to literally follow it up at the end of it with, I have it queued up here, so I'll just read it all pretty fast. Epic Games has defiled the App Store monopoly. In retaliation, Apple is blocking Fortnite from a billion devices. Join the fight to stop 2020 from becoming, quote-unquote, 1984, hashtag free Fortnite.
That's almost like verbatim how the old 1984 commercial went that Apple ran back in the day.
Yeah, no, they had to have planned all this out. They knew that this was literally what was going to happen. Therefore, it's like, you know, I literally have moved my pawn in place to force you to capture it, and now I've moved to go ahead and put your king in checkmate. Yeah. Have fun.
And now this also comes off the heels after, this is like a week or two ago here in the U.S., up on, you know, there was a congressional hearing that had Tim Cook from Apple. I don't think...
Apple,
Apple. Sundar Pichai
Amazon,
was there from Google,
Facebook.
Jeff Bezos from Amazon, and Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook were on an antitrust thing. Mm-hmm. So...
Well, I mean, those four basically run the world at this point. But
right, anyway. Exactly. So, yeah. Hold on, I need...
No, that was this week.
Well, that was a while back ago, I think. I forgot when it was specifically, but I know it wasn't this week.
Dude, I swear we talked about that last week. Yeah.
What? Sorry, Matt. We were just talking about something else.
Last week, Dr. Disrespect is bad. Streams on YouTube to 500,000 concurrent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was last week. Okay.
I thought that was this week. Sorry.
Yeah. It's fine. Okay, anyway.
July 30th, so I think it was like a few weeks ago, if anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, sorry. We were just having a little war in the dock there. Back to the topic at hand. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
This is an interesting thing. So, I mean, you can look at it kind of two ways. So, like, Epic makes a lot of money off Fortnite, of course they do. Mm-hmm. Like, they sell battle passes. They sell what are they called? Like season passes.
Cosmetics. Or battle passes, season passes.
Yeah, like skins, dances, gliders, all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would make a lot of money off Fortnite. It's still kind of popular.
Yeah.
Of course it is. So you can look at it this way and like think, hey, you know, Epic taking a gouge out, and like because I think, sorry, Apple taking a gouge out, not
Yeah.
Epic. So Apple were basically wanting 20% tax or something on top
30%.
of like
Yeah.
30% tax on top of
everything.
like when you buy V-Bucks through the app, like Play Store, App Store, whatever it's called,
Mm-hmm.
you get a 30% gouge out of that.
Okay.
Apple takes it. So basically, Epic were trying to circumnavigate that a little bit. And like you can think to yourself, oh, you know, just give Apple the money so then the game stays on, you know, App Store.
Right, but when you have such a game as popular as like Fortnite and everything, where people are buying stuff like almost all the time, you know, you start seeing that 30% like skim off the top starts to really add up over time.
It really
you
does.
know, and then it's like you look at like even though as little as monthly, right? It's like look at how much money we could be making here. Look at how much money Apple is taking off the top of our product, you know. So,
it's. I understand that like Epic is trying to like get around that and try and make sure that the game is still accessible to like iOS users and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think like Epic's doing the right thing. It's at the end of the day, it's their game.
Right.
I feel like they should be entitled to, you know, people should be allowed to basically buy V-Bucks from the game, not through a blinking app store. So yeah, I feel like Epic's doing the right thing here. They'll get around it somehow.
I hate the fact that we have to pitch between like two mega corporations and everything in this, but like I do kind of like definitely understand a lot more of where Epic is coming from here and whatnot. And it's just like, yeah, sure, you know, it's like maybe they can make the App Store a better place for smaller developers who don't have as much cash money as Epic and whatnot. You know, this is a similar conversation that we have whenever we talk about like indie games and whatnot on Steam, and you know the % revenue cut that Steam takes. Whatnot, and it's just like you know, it's like if you're an indie dev, you want to have your game on Steam because it's the most widespread PC platform that'll reach the most people and everything. But you know, you have to weigh: is it worth how much money is Valve going to take off the top of all your sales?
Yeah, and I did try to look it up right now to try to get like a good estimation of costs or what have you. And you know, there's no specific amount that's being said, but one example was like back in April 2018, how Fortnite apparently made almost $300 million. That you could take that, cut it by 30%, and you could say that Apple got a good hefty sum of that. Regardless. But anyway, besides that though, I'm honestly trying to figure out how this is all going to play out because it's like watching Godzilla versus other random giant monster. Because it's like, you know, no matter who wins, the city's going to get destroyed in the process.
Right.
So yeah, have fun being the small person in that circumstance. But besides that though, that I really do want to find out how this is going to play out, because if this ends up with Apple being on the short end, it kind of makes me wonder if that opens the door suddenly to other services. Because, you know, during the time when you were mentioning the xCloud, technically speaking, Stadia also ran into that problem as well.
Right.
Where, you know, Stadia is no go on iOS. So unfortunately, you know, that just only hurt them even more. But yeah, no, iOS, because I think that, I don't know Android versus iOS, but it's obvious that those are like the big major platforms for mobile devices. That, you know, if you're saying to people that, you know, you cannot have your game on iOS, deal with it, or your service on iOS, deal with it. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but then it's like, you know, it's because Apple's kind of, you know, closing the door, saying that, oh, because you're not following our very specific guidelines, that, you know, you cannot do this. But then if Epic wins, and if some guidelines actually do change to where suddenly other streaming services can be able to actually get in and do their own things, then it's like, well, okay, yeah, Apple's kind of going to be SOL here pretty quick.
Right.
And, you know, obviously, you know, not to quote Jim Sterling, but it's like, you know, who cares about giant conglomerates? Because it's like, you're literally having millionaires slap each other with giant bags of money, essentially, trying to see who falls down first. It doesn't matter who falls down first. They're going to be rich by the end of the day regardless. But,
right.
You know, and in a certain standpoint, though, it's like for other people who are looking at this, we're looking at this and trying to figure out, you know, is Apple going to come out on top of this, or are they going to be forced to make changes, and therefore something that could actually be a benefit for many other people in the future? As for, you know, specifics of like, you know, oh, this hurts the developers or this helps the developers. You know, obviously I'm not going to claim that I know every single specific of that, but it's like, you know, obviously something big could come out of this should Epic win.
Right. And, you know, it's like, make no mistake also, it's not like Epic or Apple are going to go out of business fighting legal fees with each other or anything right there. You know, the most that'll really happen out of that is that Apple redoes part of its App Store regulations regarding payment and everything. You know,
Yeah,
that's
and
the
Epic
absolute
already
most.
said in their, you know, quote unquote, like legal whatever, they're not looking for financial, you know,
Compensation. Yeah.
compensation. Yeah, because, you know, obviously it's like, you know, one, who the hell cares if Apple loses money? Apple is Apple, so they're still
Right.
going to have lots of money by the end of the day. But
The
it's
company's
like,
worth $2
Epic,
trillion, you know.
yeah,
It's,
and you know, at the same time though, Epic already knows Fortnite earns a lot of money, so it's like, who the hell cares if they get even more money on top of their Fortnite money? That obviously Epic's trying to send a statement here, and regardless of if you may agree with them or not, it's still kind of a thing to where it's like it's essentially Epic trying to stick it to Apple at this point, and maybe Google as well, maybe question mark.
So I was gonna bring this point up. It's
out.
less of, it's like Epic probably won't fight like Apple in court, or I'm sorry, Google in court, or like any sort of lawsuit over this, whatever, because it's not absolutely crucial that Fortnite is on the Play Store or whatever. Because on Android you can do like third-party app markets, no problem, and app loaders, no problem. So that's not an issue not being on the Play Store if you're Epic. So probably wouldn't waste money fighting that if I was Epic. So it's like the main focus is of course Apple, and you know, again, it's just like, you know, it did take, it's, you know, it's like, it's going to take Epic with, you know, the epic amounts of money that they have to even have a remote chance in court against Apple, and their even more epic amounts of money that they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can the power of 9-year-olds take down the world's most valuable company?
You gotta floss harder, kids. Do you want the big money people to win? You gotta floss harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have dances on iOS? Heck yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting scenario. I feel like Apple's probably going to win this at the end of the day.
Really?
Because
Okay.
of, like the money that's behind it.
Mm-hmm.
They got more money
It's
to throw.
their-
So.
It's their. I mean, it's their Play Store. It's their terms of service.
Right.
It's their. They can basically do what they want. They don't need Epic at all. Like they don't need Fortnite on iOS.
They don't need
obviously-
them, but I'm sure it's nice to have when you talk about volume of
yeah.
sales and everything, right? I'm sure
Sure.
Apple appreciates the amount of money they're skimming off the top of Fortnite, but, you know, again, it's like they're not crucial. That's not absolutely crucial to the company's bottom line or anything.
Or the Apple Game Store could just make their own Fortnite.
App Store,
and,
yeah.
You know, how well that would work out. But
Right, exactly.
no ideas.
Apple Night. Call it Orchard Battle Royale. Or
It's like eat fruit to survive.
exactly. You just throw
That's
apples
still
at each other to
different
kill
from
each other.
people.
Exactly. It's a good point.
Winner, iPhone dinner.
Throw an
Yeah,
apple
when I
fair
get
across
a-
the stage.
Yeah,
Winner, get a $2,000 iPhone X for dinner.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh dear.
All right.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna want to bring this up really quick. Tim Sweeney, the CEO and co-founder of Epic, talked about did a statement about this.
Ooh.
Hold
Oh,
on.
boy. Was this also on Twitter?
Yeah, so this is a
Okay.
Twitter thread by Tim Sweeney. I'm going to throw it into the chat here. He says, at the most basic level, we are fighting for the freedom of people who bought smartphones to install apps from sources of their choosing, the freedom for creators of apps to distribute them as they choose, and the freedom of both groups to do business directly. The primary opposing argument is smartphone makers can do whatever they want. This is an awful notion. We all have rights, and we need to fight to defend our rights against whoever would deny them, even if that means fighting a beloved company like Apple. Another argument against supporting hashtag free Fortnite is this is just a billion-dollar company fighting a trillion-dollar company about money. But the fight isn't over Epic wanting a special deal. It's about the basic freedoms of all consumers and developers. Finally, there's nothing wrong with fighting about money. You work hard to earn this stuff. When you spent it, the way it's divided determines whether your money funds the creation of games or is taken by middlemen who use their power to separate games from game creators. Tim Sweeney is idealistic, but at least he's also a freaking adult who understands how businesses need to
Yeah,
work,
of course.
right? So
He knows what he's talking about.
yeah, and then he also, you know, he's been he retweeted from Samsung Mobile US. You know what's epic? You can still download Fortnite Mobile from the Samsung Galaxy Store. So if you have Android, go ahead. And yeah, and then he said IGN's this was 4 hours ago earlier today. IGN says Epic is weaponizing Fortnite fans, but the armament being offered is simply an idea that the maker of a smartphone does not have the right to dictate the terms of our lives and our businesses. The tech monopolies would love nothing more than a battle of might because they can muster a far larger fighting force. They do not fear our weapons; they do fear our ideas. So then he's kind of leaning into the whole like 1984 ploy here. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just gonna bring that up because that was part of the conversation as well. So.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how they're talking about how, you know, to try to do all this. Meanwhile, it's like, so how's the Epic Store been as of late? You know, any fancy exclusives you bought up with your fancy Fortnite money?
Right.
It's like, mind you, it's like, you know, obviously Tim Sweeney obviously knows, like, you know, obviously what Apple does is kind of more of a monopoly, as he said, because yeah, of course it is. But then kind of at the same time, though, when we look at video games, it's like, well, technically speaking, you are still using the money being earned right now to go ahead and get exclusives to your product, which I mean, yeah, I'm sure that there are differences here and there, but it's like some people have not hesitated to try to point that out.
Right. Yeah. You know, it's like Apple is very, very famous for, you know, their little walled garden ecosystem that's all Apple controlled and everything, right? You know, you got people with their Mac Pro and then their MacBook and then, you know, their iPad, then their iPhone with their AirPods and their Apple Watch. Yeah. Am I missing?
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend as though I'm not a part of the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Come on,
yeah,
Mike.
so-
You're part of the problem. Fix it.
And you know, I don't know. Some people like that whole thing. You know, it's like their ecosystem. It's very expensive, and it doesn't have all the functionality I'd like to have and everything. It's not my personal preference, but you know, it works well for some people, and that's good for them. You know, Apple makes good products for a certain audience of people. You know, obviously, if they didn't, they wouldn't be worth $2 trillion. So anyway.
I mean, good is arguing.
I say as a diehard Android fan. Anyway.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
it's your
when
phone,
you
Anthony. It's your
charge-
turn.
Huh?
When you charge like, how much was it? $500 for like a PC frame.
Oh, there's
wheels?
$800 for wheels.
Oh heck yeah!
$1,000 for a
that's quality
stand,
product.
a monitor stand.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a quality product right there. Like come on, it must be gold plated, have some platinum in it. Oh no, it's
It needs to.
stainless
Never
steel.
mind.
Oh,
Not saying that actually.
But I love my $1,000 monitor stand.
It better cure cancer at that point.
to cure cancer. Yeah, I reckon. Like
I don't know. I've done
It better
so.
keep me nourished through osmosis or something like that.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. So it's like one hobby that I've taken up over the past year or so, like since around 2020 began. Is like I've gotten into like firearms and marksmanship a little bit, right, and everything. So it's like I was getting into that community and whatnot. I got into the, I guess you would call it a hobby or whatever. I'm not sure exactly, but anyway. So it's like when I was getting into it, it was just like everything was kind of expensive. It was just like I would see something, and it's just like. You know, it's like I would view it. It was just like it seemed like a really basic thing. It's like the materials obviously can't be expensive, but you know, it'd be like over $100. And it's just like, okay, what am I getting for over $100 on this? Right? It's like, does it cure cancer? Stuff like that. Yeah. There's a much more like vulgar thing I can say, but I'm not sure.
yeah,
you know?
I can't say that either.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
the adult for this podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all good.
Yeah. Anyway, so. Yes, it is Godzilla versus insert another kaiju here, as Mike has likened it to, but, you know...
Let them fight, essentially.
Yeah, let them fight. Let's just see where this goes. You know, it's just like, it's just kind of entertaining to watch, as I have no, like, real vested, like, interest in either company.
Yeah, best case scenario, maybe Apple changes their policies. Worst case scenario, you don't get your Fortnite on Apple products anymore. Boo-hoo.
I mean,
literal worst case scenario, mind you.
Yeah.
You know, chances are that nothing happens and Fortnite just appears back on iOS, and you know that's not the worst case scenario. So it's like,
right.
You know, if at the end of the day, if nothing happens, it's like big deal, nothing happens. But at least it was fun to at least talk about first.
It was at least fun to watch, yeah. And I guess it's like, I would be a little bit more threatened like this if these were like a U.S. company going up against like a foreign company or whatever. But these are just two U.S. companies, so whatever. There's no like foreign thing.
Money fight.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna make it rain harder at the club. Who to make it rain?
Yeah.
You will submit to me.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Put Fortnite back on iPhone. Okay. Anyway.
Toss some money out, Anthony, so that we can be able to properly close out this topic.
Okay.
Come on, Anthony.
It's not completed until
we'll
everybody
put
makes
$2
it right.
around here somewhere.
Oh well, that was fun.
Got $2 somewhere. Heck yeah, that's a lot of money.
Okay. Anyway. Well, speaking of absurd amounts of money, you know who wanted to make an absurd amount of money? The CEO of EA, Andrew Wilson. But you know who isn't going to be allowed to make an absurd amount of money? Andrew Wilson. So, you know how we talked about the past couple weeks, this came up with Bobby Kotick from Activision Blizzard and another EA executive and everything, how it's like, there was this analysis that they were making way too much in compensation as executives versus, the rest of the employees and even some of their peer executives also. Well, this story is coming to us from gamesindustry.biz. EA shareholders reject executive compensation plan. If plan goes ahead, CEO Andrew Wilson's compensation will rise to $21.4 million. EA's executive compensation plan was rejected during the company's annual meeting of shareholders. The Say on Pay vote, which sees shareholders voice their opinion on the remuneration of executives, took place last week and saw 170.89 million votes against EA's plan versus 59.6 million in favor. So roughly like 75%, 25% for. Those are very loose, rounded estimates. But anyway, while the vote is only advisory, it is very rare to see executive compensation plans being rejected. Should the compensation plan go ahead, CEO Andrew Wilson would receive $21.4 million in compensation for the fiscal year 2020, compared to a mere $18.3 million in 2019. Chief Operating and Financial Officer Blake Jorgensen could get $19.5 million, up from $9.41 million in 2019, and Chief Studio Officer Laura Miele could receive $16.1 million, up from $6.95 million in 2019. The annual meeting also voted in favor of allowing stockholders to act by written consent by a short margin of only 13 million votes and elected the board candidates. EA published its first quarter results at the end of July, seeing a 21% increase in net revenue year on year. In a follow-up call, Wilson and Jorgensen provided more details on the publisher's performance during the corona crisis, with records set across its various franchises. For instance, FIFA gained 7 million players during Q1 2020. Because you are really so bored at home, the most entertaining thing you can think to do is play FIFA. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so, I don't know how to react to this.
Hopefully it's kind of a case to where some stock, I don't want to say stock owners, but it's like people who run the company are starting to realize that maybe we are overpaying our CEOs just a bit too much.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you guys talked about the whole thing with Blizzard and, Bobby, or...
Yeah, we did. We talked about the Bobby Kotick thing a couple weeks ago.
And then, of course, staff or people on staff who came together say how much their money is and how they earn so little money they can't even afford lunch at their...
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, this is just another situation where it's like, some more people are stepping up and saying, like, maybe we are overpaying the CEO a bit too much, which it's like, well, gee, you think? Because it's unfortunately, it's like, not to say that they should not be earning any money or whatever, but then at the same time, it's like, there is such thing as earning too much money. Because it's like, when you're in a position where you've earned so much money, you don't need to work a day in your life anymore. What's the end goal at that point? Exactly. Yeah. But it's like, at that same point, though, it's like, when you keep getting bonuses while you're cutting jobs. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's the case with the EA, mind you. But
right, yeah, that was more
when that's happening.
With this, I think the big, thing with this was just, the net increase total and whatnot across the board and everything. Because, okay, pretty much, so... I don't think if it was only Wilson asking for a pay bump from 18 to 21, I think that would actually be reasonable. Yes, this is an absurd amount of money. I understand this. Okay, okay, yes, I get it. Okay, it's another large corporation, stuff like that. Okay, I think that would have been a little bit more reasonable to have been approved and everything. But the fact that he's essentially tripling the pay of 2 other people is kind of during the same package deal is kind of insane, which is what I think brought up the red flags a little bit for the investors being like, no, this is too much and everything. So
yeah, meanwhile that everyone who's under them, it's like, how many people can be able to enjoy better lives if you literally spread it across literally everyone else who works at EA? And it's like, obviously it goes into much more detail than that. Once again, I'm not going to claim I know how to play the business game or whatever, but then at the same time, it's like, the only reason why you're standing up so high is that you have so many people holding you up. Therefore, It's like, wouldn't it make sense to go ahead and take a Nintendo play and go ahead to cut your pay down to go ahead and better support the people who are working under you? Where it's like, Nintendo was kind enough to do that, not so much over at Activision and in this case, EA.
Right.
But again, it's kind of complicated to say the specifics of it, because obviously it's like you could probably be able to make an argument of why there should be a pay increase for him, even though kind of, so to speak, there shouldn't be for him or the people he's trying to boost up the payment rates for.
Yeah.
Sure. It's good because they're not doing Activision Blizzard, right? They're not cutting people's sales.
As far as we're aware, right? There have been
that we know about,
everything.
Well, cutting or laying people off anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not laying a massive amount of people off. They're not, once again, as far as we're aware, they're not forcing people to, drink coffee for lunch. So it's, the CEO, I don't know. I don't like CEOs making a massive amount of money off other people's work. I think that's kind of disgusting.
Okay.
To be honest, with how Activision Blizzard are doing it, and EA is probably in a similar position as well. Most big companies probably are. Like CEOs.
Really quick, one thing I'd like to point out, because your point kind of reminded me of this, is that this article, and it doesn't seem like any of the articles really enumerate which one is like raw pay versus like which one is just in stock and everything. Because oftentimes when you hear about like, the CEO made like $21.4 million last year or whatever, right? It's not like $21.4 million is now sitting in their bank account as their salary or whatever. It's like, okay, they might have gotten a couple million, which again, still an insane amount of money, don't get me wrong, okay? But, a lot of that money is oftentimes held up in like stock options or stock value in the company and everything. So, anyway.
What? Okay, that's so weird. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I understand CEOs making a lot of money, and I understand, I understand that whole dynamic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like, as a consumer, I said this last week as well, as a consumer buying a game, I want my money to go to the people actually working on the game, not some unnamed CEO sitting back taking all the profits. That's not how. I don't think that's healthy business.
Screwing the hooker in his office and doing some blow off the last desk. No. Okay.
Well,
what?
Well, no.
Wall Street?
Part of me wants
no?
to.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to mention other company that could have actually done that for all we know. But then again, I don't want to get on their bad side.
Okay.
Anyway. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, Ubisoft.
I feel like it's way past time for unions to step into the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Unionization of gaming should be a thing. It's the biggest medium. It's the biggest entertainment medium to date. It's like twice as large as movies.
Right. Yeah.
It's a massive industry. Yet, movies are unionized. They have all this stuff in place. Yet video games don't.
Right.
So people need. I'm not saying that EA is doing this, but I'm just saying in general. There is corruption in the industry. Of course, there is. Activision Blizzard is doing a bit of a dodgy thing with how they're treating their employees, and this is just like with CEOs trying to make more money and more money and more money. There needs to be something in place for the employee, not for the CEO. So, it's all well and good to say that, hey, companies should have their own thing, but there needs to be government mandated or some kind of union thing in place. So then,
That's what you're saying. Yeah, I gotcha.
So yeah, I don't know. As we said, we have no idea what EA is doing. They might be paying their employees 3 times minimum wage or $30 an hour. We don't know. So yeah, I'm just mainly talking about the industry as a whole, and it's dangerous when CEOs are making this much money. But yeah.
Yeah, well, who knows if we're basically the same situation from EA employees like what happened with Activision Blizzard, with people who come out and post up their pay rates so that you can be able to do a comparison in between. Because within our little chat, I did post up the quote unquote 100 most overpaid CEOs,
Mm-hmm.
and Activision Blizzard, Mr. Kotick, is at number 45 on that list. But then for EA's Andrew Wilson, he is currently only at 98 of the top 100 most overpaid. So, I mean, I don't know how much of a difference there would be there. But then again, I don't know if there's cases like what we see at Activision Blizzard, where the aforementioned, I can't afford my lunch at my own workplace. Whereas other places, apparently, they do it for free because, you're working there. At least we can do is feed you.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Presumably, I'd imagine with people like Jason Schreier in the industry, if things were really that bad at EA in terms of employee pay and whatnot, we would know about it at this point.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I guess what it is right now is that considering the circumstances with other companies between like Ubisoft, Activision, EA, it seems like EA's kind of keeping under the radar for the time being.
right.
Now,
Yeah.
mind you, that as soon as we get to Madden 2021, and then we find out that Madden 21 is not much different from Madden 20 except $10 more, but looks the exact same, with not very much customization options.
With
and not
shittier
much
bots
difference.
art too.
Yeah. But essentially, that's kind of how I'm looking at this right now, where it's like EA, for the most part, has, been keeping under the radar. They have not said anything. They have not done anything. And essentially, it's working out to their benefit, just like Sony.
Yeah, it's been a
Where it's
while since EA embarrassed themselves saying something. You make a good point,
Well, that
Yeah.
and also you got to keep in mind that from the games from EA, which is the only ones we've been hearing from. I'm not sure if it's more than two, but I can tell you the Apex Legends.
Right.
And, as long as you have Respawn Entertainment being your good guy, then it's like, okay, yeah, so EA must be doing good because Respawn is doing good. Whereas Respawn is the only reason why no one completely and absolutely hates EA at this point.
Right. Yeah.
Respawn and Fallen Order. I mean, Respawn. Apex and Fallen Order. Are basically
Yeah, both
the
from
only
Respawn.
Let's see,
ones
Fallen
who-
Order was Respawn too.
So Respawn
Looky
is the only
there.
reason why you don't absolutely hate Electronic Entertainment with every fiber of your being at this point. There may be other companies or indies under the EA publisher that may also be doing good, but for
Nobody
the most
really
part,
cares
they're looking
about
for
them.
the big name AAA titles. Respawn's the only ones that are staying on everyone's good side
Yeah.
It's
for the
not,
most part.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not so much EA at that point either. EA, who does? So that's BioWare. Okay, so obviously EA is the publisher and whatnot, but EA do your FIFAs and your sports games predominantly. They have development teams in place for that. But EA. I feel like Activision Blizzard has replaced EA as the bad guy at this rate.
No, they
Yeah.
definitely have, unfortunately. And that's
far.
what sucks.
By far,
EA
which
will
is good.
egregiously
I think that's good.
EA will egregiously be greedy about your money and make very obvious that they want your money, and they make no buts about it that they want you to pay them
all you gotta do is
more
look
than
at-
past the price of admission and everything. But presumably they pay their employees probably at least at median wage for the industry. I don't know. Again,
Yeah.
Mike, I brought this up to Mike when you were AFK there for a sec, Anthony. But it was just with people like Jason Schreier and ad company like EA that everyone loves to hate. I'd imagine if there were pay issues like there are at Blizzard and everything happening in EA, we would have known about it by now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
but then you
whoever hate
have
the guy,
you have
he does
Activision.
his good work, yeah.
You have Activision Blizzard, where it's just well, not only are they getting greedier and greedier and greedier and greedier, but also they're not even paying their employees properly. So,
I was gonna say as well, all you got to do to look at how greedy EA is look at Apex.
yeah.
The price just for skins and loot boxes and stuff is insane.
Yeah.
You buy I think it's 3 loot boxes and it's $15. So this is crazy. What are you doing?
And it's
Sorry.
again, oh, did it's does this skin cure cancer or something? Why is it worth $20?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, honestly, though, I am kind of interested in knowing how the monetization is going to work going into the next generation coming up here soon, because it really does seem like that's kind of the idea that now that everyone's definitely stepping away from loot boxes and trying to move towards other monetization means, which, you know, yeah, battle passes for one, and then like having like so many different options for you to be able to purchase. Because yeah, I can go ahead and mention Avengers here for a quick second too, because I got
Oh,
a small
dear
taste
Lord.
of what they are planning.
Yeah.
Because yeah, they do actually have a battle pass like system in there. But then I kind of feel like that, okay, are we gonna have seasons coming up here pretty soon? Are they gonna be making like a whole bunch of crazy new skins for all the Avengers? And it's like, I don't want to know what it's going to be, and I feel like that if I do find out, it's going to go ahead and ruin the game for me.
Fair enough. All right. So,
Just like what happened to EA.
is there anything else to say about I don't know.
I wouldn't say so. No.
Okay.
I think...
Not good.
But I mean,
who knows at this point?
In this scenario, the less we know, the better.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, at least people aren't going
Silence
hungry
is
and
golden.
not being able to afford rent.
Okay.
That we know of.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so well, I think with that, we're not really going to do an explicit water cooler conversation, but we do have a couple of, like, kind of smaller news topics. I don't know, but bottom line, we're going to roll the advert break for like 30 seconds and then be back. So stay tuned.
This week's episode of the Power Up Podcast is brought to you by OptiNutra. OptiNutra offers nootropic-type supplements that help support enhanced sleep, vision, flexibility, energy, long-range health, and so much more. You can check out their full range of supplements using the link in this episode's description.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for the watching the advert. I thought I was going to have to restart the podcast again for whatever reason. Anyway, we appreciate Performance Lab for the continued support of the website and, of course, the podcast itself. Anyway, so moving right along to a couple little, like, minor topics. We have this thing here. Monster Energy might have leaked the cost of the Series X. I didn't see this before this got dropped into the article. So, okay, Monster Energy is doing Xbox sweepstakes. So, it's like here, first prizes. There are 200 first prizes each available to be awarded.
I can go ahead and explain it a bit if you want to, since I was the one who tossed it up, if you like.
I think I can figure it out here. Hold on. Let me see.
Okay, fair
Just
enough.
give me a shot here. Give me a shot here.
Okay,
and if I did something
go
wrong,
ahead,
correct me. Yeah. With the grand prize winners will receive one copy of the Halo Infinite video game and one Xbox Series X console. The total ARV was at average retail value. Okay, of all first prizes, 119,998. The first prize and its manufacturer's just retail price not been released to market at the time. Printed these official rules. Any difference between stated value and actual value will not be awarded. Okay, so is the math here like 119,998 divided by 200 or?
Yeah, and when you go ahead to do that and type it into the calculator, it comes up to the magical number of $599 US. I mean, 599.99.
That price hurted. That shit hurted.
That's like more than the PS5.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't know what any console is going to cost yet.
I mean, yeah.
But the problem, though, is that it's kind of going back and forth at this point in regards of which is the more expensive console. Because it's like, just when you think that it's maybe one or the other, apparently something else comes up and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, so this ain't going to be cheap. But apparently, according to Monster, they're kind of putting the cost of the Xbox Series X at the quote-unquote $599 price mark. And apparently, and some people online have also said, well, you're not taking taxes into account, to which I don't think they do in this case. But then, you know, another point is like, well, they're not taking the cost of Halo Infinite into account. Where it's like, okay, well, fine. Then in that case, like, what, 530, 540 then?
Yeah, that's still north of 500.
Yeah, no, that's still very expensive.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we don't know how much they're going to launch this system. So I'm under the impression that they just took a guesstimation that, okay, it can't be more than $599 or $599. Yeah. So we'll just take $599, multiply it by 200, and this is our average, or what was it again?
Yeah, average retail value.
Yeah, the guesstimation of what the price is going to be, which is why at the end of it, they say any difference between stated price and actual value will not be awarded, because they are most likely going to be like, well, shoot, what if the Xbox Series S or X launches at $499 or $399?
Right, exactly,
like,
yeah.
Are we going to go ahead and be giving them like a gift card for like $102? And it's like, no, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that's been kind of the rampant rumor that's been going around since this is going to be a contest that's going to be launching here in September. That's just
November.
something that just got posted up early, and a lot of people look through the fine details to go ahead and actually stumble over that.
That's a lot of money.
That is
a lot of money.
I mean, how much was the Xbox One when that launched? That was $499, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was $499, but that was because it had the Kinect camera. Otherwise, it probably would have been $399, just like the PlayStation 4, most likely. I mean, mind you, I don't know the specifics of how any of that would have worked out, but that's how some people came up with that.
That's crazy expensive. Like, I don't know. Like that,
That's like PS3 launch price, isn't it? Like sits.
Yeah.
No, that's why I've been making the joke of $599 because when they launched the PlayStation 3, that was literally what it was quoted as for the higher storage units.
Okay, so with the PS5,
the PS3 price was $599 for the 60GB variant. Man, in 2006, 60GB was like so much storage, but now that ain't nothing.
Anyway. Oh, I was planning on buying like a terabyte for like $100 at most, maybe at Best Buy for the computer here.
You easily get something more for less. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
What was I saying? I was saying
for the PlayStation 5, something like that.
Yeah, so has Sony actually come out and said that I believe they have, I'm not sure, but I think Sony, like the head of like the PlayStation division, said that the PS5 is going to be more expensive than the Xbox Series X. I think he mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. Or a couple of months ago. I'm not 100% certain. It was either him or the Microsoft dude who was saying like, oh, you know, we're definitely going to be cheaper than the PS5.
It was something like that, but we know like the two companies are in like this very like chicken fight in a price battle right now, basically saying who's going to drop the price first, and the other person will undercut them, or whatever. So
it's more to the idea that it's a game of chicken, but both cars have driven off the cliff at this point. It's just a matter of who
hit the ground first. Yeah.
Yeah, no, whoever explodes first at the bottom of the ravine, you know, they lose at this point. Both sides are probably going to die, but. You know, it's more to the idea of just watching two giant explosions at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, rumors have been rampant about, you know, PlayStation 5 is going to cost this much, Series X is going to cost this much. And it's like, this is just another cog in the whole machine of just trying to figure out what the hell the costs are going to be. Because we still have no clue what it's going to be in September. It's literally a stone's throw away at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
We need something.
Right.
We're getting... oh, yeah, that's right. We already have one for this month. I just don't understand why they're waiting so long to drop the PS5
to undermine the other.
Yeah, again, they're literally waiting until the other person does it first. Like,
wow.
Yeah, they're both in lockstep like this, right? So it's like one of them just had to say, "Screw it, we're done waiting. Here's the price," and then the other will be like, "Oh, here's our price." Like,
and honestly,
they'll probably happen within a day or so of each other.
Yeah, and honestly, Sony is just gonna, is literally just gonna keep their hands in their pockets at this point because they know that regardless of however much they go to sell, even if it's more expensive than the Xbox One, chances are most people are going to be going to PlayStation 5 anyway because, you know, obvious, right?
And keep in mind, like, Sony and Microsoft are both willing to take a loss on these devices, so
yeah, no, of course you make your profit in game sales. You don't make your profit in the consoles,
right?
But you know, it's also the idea that you don't want to be like losing like $200, $300 per console sold.
No, to a reasonable extent, they're willing to take a loss. Let's call it that. Yeah. Yeah,
no, a reasonable loss, but not like one where it's like you're literally losing so much money just because they've decided to buy your console.
Right. Exactly. All right. So, wow. Okay. This should be something here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know if Monster's right on that. I feel like that they just tossed a number out at random and probably overestimated how much the Series X is going to be, but
maybe.
Still the same, though. A lot of people have been going rampant over this Monster contest, though, for sure.
I mean, this is the most, like, information that we have for involving numbers for this, so.
Outside of the other one that I posted, that I don't know if you wanted to talk about that or not.
Is it the other Verge article here?
Yeah, the other Verge article, because...
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, because I'm sure you guys talked about the Series S controller which basically has confirmed that the Series S is
Yeah.
literally all but confirmed at this point officially. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, at around that same time though, that's when this other thing came up from Mr. Tom Warren. But I'll let
Okay.
you take care of it if you want.
Well, I mean, this just corroborates the fact that it might release on November 6th or whatever, right? November 5th,
Yeah.
November 6th. Yeah, so.
Yeah, no, apparently that's what it is. That apparently that the Xbox, or to read off Tim Warren's tweet back on the 11th of August, this Xbox Series X may launch on November 6th. And Tipster tells me boxes of the new controllers have a do not open date of November 6th on them. These controllers leaked earlier this week. And then, of course, it does show a picture of the before do not sell or display before November 6th, 2020.
November 6th. So that implies that they might be. Well, they'll probably start.
Well,
I mean,
first off, this would be before Black Friday for sure.
Yeah.
What does brick and
That's
mortar
only
do?
just explained, though. That's not the official announcement.
What do you mean? What does brick and mortar do?
I mean, what? Do
Brick
they
and mortar
display the
reveals the
console?
Xbox Series S early online. Apparently.
But do they like? So they're saying don't display the controller's console before November 6th.
Yeah,
right?
don't display whatever's in that little box there before, like at the storefront before November 6th.
Sure. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is do they usually display it like a couple of weeks before it gets sold, or what do they do?
No, usually, like, so say if you presume this was a controller or whatever, it'll go on as soon as, it'll go
As
on
soon as, like...
yeah, as soon as the
Yeah.
console launches. The same
Okay,
day.
sure. Interesting.
So they don't have empty boxes or anything on display just to be like, you know, this is what's going to look like. Pre-order today. That they just literally just have it empty until the day of when it finally launches then, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Or I'm guessing that's how that works.
Makes sense. Okay.
I
I think it works a little bit
believe that.
differently here because I feel so with like pre-orders and stuff, you can actually see like controllers and stuff before they're actually sold. Yeah.
Is the music
Say
too loud? Holy shit.
What
What?
music?
Okay, never mind. I think it might only be coming through on stream.
Oh, okay.
I
No,
can't
but
hear nothing. Yeah, okay.
eh,
I was just curious from that perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly, we're
Shut
also
up,
kind of at that point where it's like, I feel like it should be okay to show off these controllers though, because it's not like that it's a vastly different controller from the PlayStation or from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. That, you know, it's literally kind of like the same controller, but just a more updated one with an extra button in the middle, which, you know, honestly, the Xbox One controller, you know, not to go ahead and imply anything or whatever, but it's like, it's kind of like the perfect design, so it's kind of hard to improve on it further. Unless if you decide to add a touchpad to it.
Okay.
But, I mean, who knows, but I just enjoy the Xbox One controller design.
There's some video my
That's-
roommates are watching in the living room, and it was loud as all hell. Okay.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
I don't think we can hear it, so it's all good.
Okay. I think it might be coming
Okay,
through
yeah.
just a little bit on the stream, in which case we're going to copyright striked by Disney. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. So,
But-
okay. Lots
Yeah,
of...
kind of weird how many things from Xbox came up this week. Not just for the delay of Halo Infinite and them announcing the November release date,
Yeah.
but then apparently 2 leaks, or 1 rumor and another contest that kind of gave us a more specific than what we probably had up to this point.
Okay.
So yeah, that's interesting.
Okay. All right, so anything else to say about all these Microsoft rumors or no? Because, I don't know, it's just late. Well, let's see if they turn out to be correct, right?
It's just a rumor.
Yeah.
We'll see. They're probably just ballpark figures, to be honest.
Grain of
So we've
salt.
got no idea
yeah,
what's
they're
going on.
rumors, but let's just hope that they're rumors that do not turn out to be true. Or at least in the sense of the $5.99 price mark. Because, yeah, no. I will accept $4.99. If it's $5.99, then yeah, no. I'll be patient on it for sure.
Mm-hmm. That,
I feel like their
I'm still
sales are
not
probably
over
just
that. The $5.99 price tag? Oh my god.
Well, that's like $700 here.
Yeah.
Like, good lord. I'm not paying that much for a next-gen console. I'll go jump off a cliff.
Right.
Yeah, no. 500 or I'll be patient.
Okay.
And, you know, that's the same with the PlayStation 5 too. Who knows if that's going to be as expensive as that? Probably not, but, you know, if it's going to be a high asking price like that again, if they actually do try to revisit the $5.99 price mark after what happened with the PlayStation 3, no.
Yeah.
I just ordered something and I've got no idea what I just ordered.
What did you
Oh,
just
geez,
buy?
you were bored about Hercules.
I was trying to add something to an Amazon cart, and then it just said your order has been placed.
Oh, wow, okay.
Sick.
You might want to cancel it while you have the chance.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so let's see. What's this last little thing here? Oh yeah. Okay. Sam Fisher is joining Rainbow Six Siege. That's pretty cool. We're still not getting a normal Splinter Cell game, but at least he's joining Siege. Codename Zero as an operator. So it's cool.
Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
They posted up a teaser where Sam Fisher said something like, "Don't discount me," or something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, it's cool that they are adding in a Tom Clancy character into Rainbow Six Siege.
Into
and
another
how,
Tom Clancy game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, that's cool that they're doing that. And, we don't know how Sam is going to be playing in Siege. We'll find out later. But the problem, though, is that Blacklist came out in 2013.
God, has it been that long already?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
A PlayStation 3 title, might we add. Splinter Cell has avoided this generation of consoles, and that is really, really sad.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully this means that once we get to the PlayStation 5 Series X, we'll get an announcement like within the first year or two from Ubisoft that, yeah, your next Splinter Cell game is right around the corner. Here it is.
Yeah, hopefully it's just like a palette wedding thing to reintroduce Sam Fisher into our lives.
So Sam Fisher has been added to. He was in what's the one, Wildlands?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, This was after he
yeah.
appeared in Wildlands too.
Yeah.
He was also in the mobile one. What the heck that is?
Yeah, we saw that at the Ubisoft little conference a few weeks ago.
And now he's in Siege. I feel like them just adding him to random crap. He's not doing anything. It doesn't mean there's a game coming. Nothing like that. It's just here's an extra operator.
You know what else? Do you know what he's not getting added into though? Another Splinter Cell game.
I know, another Splinter Cell game.
Oh no, this is actually kind of funny. I just realized this just now. What Ubisoft is doing to Sam Fisher is what Capcom did to Mega Man all those years ago.
Yeah.
They are literally throwing Mega Man into every single item of this and that, except for his own godforsaken game.
You have a really good point, actually. Yeah.
Please, for God's sakes, we want Splinter Cell. It's not a hard demand to make. We just want to see it. I mean, we have so many Hitman games at this point.
Right.
That's as close to Splinter Cell as we're gonna get.
I would have rather another Splinter Cell over Far Cry 6.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah.
Not just another Far Cry game, another Ghost Recon game.
Yeah, really.
Let's go Breakpoint 2.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm ready to take that very seriously. I'll say right now.
You've got no idea. Breakpoint was game of the year for every single year since 1999. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Amazing, outstanding game, right? Yeah.
That is
10 out of 10. I enjoyed flying to my destination for 15 minutes after I respawned away from it.
Sam Fisher is going to be in Watch Dogs Legion, and you just wait, okay?
Oh yeah.
An American.
He's going to be in Assassin's Creed Valhalla also.
Sam Fisher found a way to go back in time.
Yeah. There's going to be a Viking named Sam Fisher. Or there's going to be a Viking named Sam who's a fisherman or whatever for the Viking village or whatever.
What other Ubisoft game is coming up here pretty quick?
He's going to be a CIA asset in Far Cry 6.
Probably.
There will be a Sam Fisher skin in Hyperscape coming up here pretty quick.
Oh, heck yeah.
We just don't realize it yet.
Yeah.
But he'll be there.
There will be a Sam Fisher in Rabbids Mario Mushroom Kingdom thing. Yeah.
We don't know much of God and Monsters, but Sam Fisher is basically confirmed to be in the game.
Okay, yeah. Okay, all I want is another Splinter Cell game.
Well, no, we all do.
Okay.
Splinter Cell was a great series. It's a shame that it just kind of fell off the edge of the earth, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What's today? It's August this month.
August 15th. Yeah. August 16th for you. Yeah.
Because we're superior.
Yeah. Well, anything else to be about Sam Fisher?
No, not really.
Sam Fisher, Sam Fisher.
Okay. What's up, sorry?
Game.
Okay, yeah, Splinter Cell. Please give us Splinter Cell.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Co-op as well, please. That'd be a way we could forgive you.
Can we just give us Conviction? again, honestly. Anyway.
But why don't they just like remake them?
Yeah, like give
Oh,
us
no,
an
that would
HD
be
remake
another
of like Chaos
thing,
Theory
too.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remake them for next generation consoles.
Literally
They're gonna be
anything
people.
besides just adding him into random stuff, honestly, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I'm sure he'll be a great character
Look.
in Siege, but until then, though, a lot of people are still going to be asking for more Splinter Cell. Any Splinter Cell after 7 years.
Yeah.
You
But-
can compare Splinter Cell to Elden Ring. It's never gonna happen.
Oh, why
But the
did you have
thing
to
is,
bring that
Splinter
up?
Cell
You're
has
hurting
already
Terrence
happened, though, at some point. Elden Ring
Yeah.
has never happened at a previous point in time.
feelings.
Okay.
Good times.
Yeah. So, Anthony, what games are releasing? Because I think that'll wrap up stuff here.
Yeah, no, that'll wrap it up. We don't-
So, releasing this week, we have. Where are we? Here we go.
Mortal Shell is coming to PC.
Oh, really? That's out already? Okay.
Where was I reading that? There we go.
Mortal Shell is going to PC, PS4, Xbox One, August 18th. So in like 3 days for you guys, 2 days for us.
Yeah.
Flat Sim is coming August 18th as well. Super keen for that. That is. It says PC only here, but I don't think that's correct.
Okay.
Don't think that's correct. We also have Rogue Legacy 2, which is coming to Steam Early Access, which is obviously PC, on August 18th. We have an Battletoads. What? Why?
Oh, I heard
Why
about
they-
this, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, the animated Battletoads. It's actually right around the corner, apparently. Caught
Yep.
people off guard.
Yeah.
That's coming to PC and Xbox One on August 20th. And a game that basically we've seen one trailer for that I've wanted for many years, which I am not looking forward to because this was crap. PGA Tour 2K21. So it's another golf game by EA. Like most Tiger Woods
okay.
games
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah, took
Most
it
Tiger Woods
under the
games are
radar
good.
too, actually, didn't they?
But most importantly, it's coming to Stadia. Hell yeah.
Hey. Okay.
PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. Surprised it's not on Switch, actually, which is August 21st. And that is it for this week. I believe.
Awesome.
Very slow week.
Yeah.
This
Oh, the
this
flight
whole
sim is
year
finally
very
here,
slow.
though. That's pretty sweet.
Incredibly slow, yeah. There's a couple of games that I'll probably check out.
Well, we're almost in September. Once we get into September, things are going to start picking up again.
Ramping up
so,
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, I
Okay,
mean,
fine. October.
okay, maybe that Avengers is the only game that I was interested in September, and maybe that was just it. But I feel like that September will at least start to get the ball rolling again until we get into the holiday season.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, there's a couple of decent games, but like compared to last year, there was so much stuff coming out last year.
Yeah.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the end of a new console. I mean, of a console generation, my friend.
Well,
In the
more
midst
like
of a
what-
pandemic, also.
Mm-hmm.
or supposed pandemic.
Instant demonetized. That
Please,
100%
I
be
don't
cut out.
Definitely banned.
Yeah, remind me to tell you the joke of how the pandemic's going to end by the end of the year, but when we go to close out shop. I don't think I want to mention it, or otherwise it's going to start pissing a lot of people off.
Yeah, okay, we're ending the show. So, Mike, where can people find you on Twitter?
Yes, if you wish to follow me for whatever reason on Twitter, I am at MAS8705. And just recently, I finally got around to getting around to my godforsaken dream of having my own personal gaming blog for myself. I'm, of course, still going to be with Culture of Gaming the majority of the time, but I will do more personal gaming blogs for myself. And that's going to be at Mad Moss Gaming, MADMAS Gaming. So Mad Moss Gaming, or Mad Mass Gaming.
Okay.
Which one is?
You link it in your
Um,
articles, right?
Yeah, no, I've been linking the articles in because it's like,
Yeah, okay.
I feel like that there are times where when I do articles for the site, I do want to elaborate on them a bit more, but then that's like more personal thoughts. So that's
Sure,
what I've
yeah.
been doing with my personal blog. But yeah, for the most part, though, I am still going to be writing for Culture of Gaming pretty much all the time,
Nice.
regardless.
Okay. So, yeah, link to it. Just
Fantastic.
hit up the end of one of his articles for the link to it. All right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'll be doing it every now and then. I'm not going to be doing it all the time for the personal blog. And like I said, Culture of Gaming, that's if you still want to be reading my articles for whatever reason, but please do so. That makes me feel special to know that people are reading.
All right, Andrew, or Anthony, sorry. Where can...
Andrew, how dare you?
I'm sorry.
Come on, Andrew, get going.
Anthony, where can people find you on Twitter?
I don't tweet at all on my personal stuff.
Okay.
But I do the whole site social media stuff. So you can find, if you want to get in contact with me, you can find me on Twitter, at the Cog Network. Same with Facebook. Same with like anywhere you want to chat to me. We have a lot of interesting, spicy stuff coming up for the site.
Okay.
We're looking at doing a couple of very interesting projects, so we'll see how we go there.
Awesome.
Things are in the works. So yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. You can find me on Twitter at Infurious7809. That is at INFERIUS7809. Mostly talking about anime and tech over there, not so much gaming. So hit me up over there. Anyway, with that, that'll wrap up the show. Make sure you tune in next week on the same time, same place, same great channel as usual. Hope to see you all there. And yeah, be safe, be healthy, all that fun stuff, and play some video. See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.